Hi, it's Liz Sneddon. Let's have a look at drawing frequency bar graphs and relative frequency bar graphs using Excel when we're looking at processing our experimental probability results. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back to a spreadsheet. So this is one that I made as per my previous video. And so what I've got here is looking at the outcomes of getting apples, peaches or pears as the results of my experimental probability. So notice that I've got some headings there, and what I want to do to start with is I just want to select these cells. So I want to select my sample space and my frequencies. Now I'm going to come up to where it's got the insert menu, and I'm going to say, can you please insert for me, and I'm going to click on recommended graphs. You could go into the individual ones as well. It's all fine. So I'm just going to click on that, and you can see there the first column graph it gives me is a bar graph, and it's got my apple, peach and pear along the bottom, and it's got my frequency along the side. So if I click OK, that brings this up for me. Now while it's got a heading, I'm going to just change this to be experimental investigation, so that it's a more appropriate title. And now I also want to put some labels on my X and Y axis. So if I come to this plus column at the top here, I can click on that and say, right, can you please add, and I want to add in the axes titles. And so that gives me both an axis title here and an axis title here. Now the other way I could have done that is up the top option here. You'll notice that I'm under a chart design menu, because I've got the graph selected, and I can say add chart element, click on this, and this is where I can add in different axes labels as well, and all sorts of other bits that we might be useful. So I just want to do those for now. So let me go and click onto this, and I'm going to change that to say frequency, and across the bottom here, this is my, I'm going to select that and go, that is my sample space. Oh no, it's not, it is my outcomes. There we go, that's a much better word. Let's do that, that's outcomes. Okay, so there's a graph, and so then I can copy and paste that and print that and other things that I might require. So that's if I want a frequency graph. Now let's have a look at doing a relative frequency graph. So I want these, in fact I'm going to change that sample space to say outcomes, that's a better word. So I'm going to select my outcomes, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the relative frequency. Now I don't necessarily want to select this whole table because I've already got a graph with the frequencies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select those, and I'm going to let go of my mouse button. Now I'm going to press down the control key. Okay, so press the control key on your keyboard. Now I'm going to come to these cells with the relative frequencies, and I'm going to click, hold and select those, and then let go of my mouse and let go of the control button. And so you can see that it's selected those two columns, just the cells that I want. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say insert, recommended graph, and no, I don't want a pie chart, I want one of these graphs, thank you. So I'm going to select that. And then now I can do the same thing again. I can change the heading, and I can say relative frequency graph. And I now want to add my titles, so I can click on the plus, add the axes titles. And so on this axis here, this is my relative frequency that I'm going to put across there, and across the bottom here I'm going to put my outcomes. Okay, and so there is making both a frequency and a relative frequency graph in Excel. Thanks for watching.